competitive spirit in the first half. We couldn't get in rhythm offensively, and they hit us with a 6-point run late in the first half. But out of halftime, the third quarter was tremendous. Being able to take a lead, as brief as it was great to see. We put defense and offense together and got into the type of game that we need to play, which is pace, ball movement, and just recognition basketball. In the fourth, they just end of the third and the fourth, they just hit us with a run that that they've are most capable of doing. They do it on a consistent basis to a lot of teams, and we just it was a tough one to answer. So disappointed with the outcome, but certainly not with the effort.
Rick, how big was Justin in that third quarter? 4 threes, 7 threes overall tonight, and it seemed like he just had one of those nights.
Justin was terrific all night, and in the first half, when we really struggled to get rhythm and kind of our feet under us offensively, he was a guy that was doing little things to help us along, driving closeouts, cutting at the right time, finding open areas to take shots and hit shots. And so he's very important, and it was just one of those nights where it's hard getting him off the floor. And I hate playing him 36 minutes, 36, almost 37 minutes. But tonight there was just no choice. He was that good.
And throughout the game, did you just feel like they just always had someone to turn to? I know DeAndre had the huge start, then Booker gets going in the third quarter, then Chris Paul closes it out. Is that just who they are, and it's just a sign of how great they are?
They have a lot of answers. It's great to play a team like that because you can get a gauge on what you're capable of, and certainly a gauge on the kinds of things you need to work on and continue to work on. Ayton early, Booker, in the late third, in the third and the fourth, early fourth, and then Paul at the end. I mean, those are three tremendous players, and we did a lot of good things. Normally Bridges and Crowder hit you with a lot of cuts and stuff like that. We did a good job on that stuff, but overall, holding these guys to 45% shooting is a pretty good defensive effort. Them getting to 39 on threes and some of Booker's timely stuff made it difficult.
You've had some success recently going to 3-wing lineups with your bench with Holiday, Craig, and O'Shea all in the same unit. What kind of led you to that group, and how do you feel like they're able to be so successful together?
Well, tonight, with Lamb out, Malcolm out, obviously Warren and McConnell out, we were a little lower than usual on bodies, and we've all seen the games. We've seen the lineups that have had success together. So we got to it pretty quick in the first, and then in the third. The other thing that I thought was encouraging, Chris Duarte coming off COVID, coming off an emotional birth of a daughter, all that second game back, really did some great things in the third quarter. Didn't necessarily score a lot of points, but he was doing the right things on offense. Defensively, he was sitting down and playing, and it was a stretch of basketball that he needed. So that was good to see, and this is a challenging time of the year. You're mid January. The games just keep coming one after the other, and so competing like this is a very positive thing for us, and we got to take this on the road with us on Sunday.
Players go through shooting ruts all the time in the course of a season, and you've even talked about sometimes that being uncontrollable. Miles right now is in a bit of a shooting rut. What do you tell your players to kind of keep their confidence up or keep them involved when they're having a couple off games in a row?
It's a process thing. You know, it's a process thing. It's when you talk about shooting, it's rhythm. It's trust in what you've trained. You know, the NBA season is exceedingly long. You know, 82 games is a very, very, very long time. You know, there's going to be peaks. There's going to be valleys. There's going to be regression to the mean. There's going to be all kinds of things. The important thing is to stick with the process and continue to trust what you know you've done well. And you know, we want him to keep lining up every one of those open threes that he can. Sometimes also what happens during a stretch like this is a guy like him gets stuck a few times at the end of the shot clock and ends up having to fling one up there, and that, you know, that's going to make it seem worse than it is. And so, you know, this is a now business. You know, you got to stay in the present, and you got to trust the things you've trained.
Justin, can you just take us through what it felt like to be in that groove in the third quarter and hit those shots, get the crowd involved, and obviously give yourself a chance to win there in the third?
Felt a lot of energy. Felt kind of like free moving wise and things like that. Obviously, none of you guys are in my head, but you know, there's certain ways I feel in certain games, even shooting the ball at times, and just especially. It was certain ones that I shot that I knew were good, but I didn't even have the greatest form on. And it's just, I knew it was going to go in. And the energy from the crowd, I could feel all that, and I felt like, you know, I couldn't really miss anything at that time. I mean, you know, I did miss a few, but yeah, it felt good. I felt, I mean, I don't know, kind of even like young. Like that freedom of just being able to move, your body moves the way it wants to when you think about it is really quick, and getting to your jump shot quick, moving fast, and yeah, so it felt good, and hopefully I could feel like that for the rest of this year in my career.
And then maybe what shifted? I know you and Devin Booker kind of went tit for tat in that third, and then after that it seemed like they they did what they do to most teams because they're one of the best teams in the league.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing that, you know, good teams do, right? And the way you kind of want to be in this league, regardless of if you're up or down, there's a certain way you want to play the game, and the good teams do that. And usually, when two good teams are playing, it's the one that makes the most mistakes, or makes the mistakes at the wrong time, and they capitalize on when we made the mistakes, and that's what good teams do. You know, which is no surprise. And we fought hard in that. We just had to figure out a way to not have those little mistakes then, or to be able to weather their storm a little better as well.
Caris mentioned a few weeks ago you guys finding some success when he was playing with you, Torrey, and O'Shea all together as three kind of perimeter forwards at the same time. What do you see from that unit that makes it successful for you guys?
I mean, first of all, we're really good defensively, a lot of size, very, what's the word I'm looking for? We can all do multiple things and switch in and out doing things, and, you know, I think just the size and the like size and being able to switch defensively and offensively between, you know, Torrey and O'Shea, who can rebound the ball very, very well to where we don't actually lose that. And then, you know, even the shooting and the movement, you know, Torrey and O'Shea both cut very, very, very well. So it gives us, you know, some movement, gives us some spacing, and, again, still some size. So I think that's what he was probably referring to with that.
You held him to 45% shooting. Obviously, you played pretty well defensively throughout the game. When Devin gets like on a heater like that, is it just you just tip your cap because of some of the stuff he was shooting and hitting? It was like, I don't know if you can do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, you don't know if you can do anything until you do something that does work. You just try to find the best way to still make it tough. Sometimes it's getting the ball just out of his hands, you know, maybe trapping on pick and rolls or different things like that. And sometimes, I mean, like, you know, dudes are playing really good defense. He's just making them. That's why we got to just keep, you know, chugging away and do our thing on the other end, and then still just make it hard for him. And the other thing I kind of just thought about now is even if we can get more time off the clock to where it's not just so quick, and it can kind of overlap onto you. But, you know, I think, you know, all the guys that guard him did a good job. And, you know, Devin's Devin. The great players are going to make, you know, great players like that. We just try to find a way to slow them down and have that happen as least amount as possible.
Justin, what is it like inside the locker room going through an experience like this right now where wins are hard to come by, guys now coming back to the lineup, and now about to head on the road for the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, You know, I think it's guys just still hungry, wanting to win, wanting to try to find a way and being really, really focused on it. You can see a lot of guys' mind turning in that way of, you know, what could I have done, what could we have done better, and there's no quit though, you know, and that's the type of team we have that's set up. We're guys that want to win, want to do well, so we're just trying to find a way and continue to be flexible and adjust. Because yes, we have guys coming in, guys going out. And again, the young guys are doing a good job of, you know, being ready and keeping that positive and high energy for us. And that's the thing we're going to need to do right now, is to continue to be positive, even when it's hard, because it doesn't matter if things are going well for you or not. If you're going to be negative and things are going to just continue to bog on you, you're going to just add to it. So we're going to continue to try to be positive, try to encourage one another. There's a lot of encouragement going on, and that's good to see, and that's what we're going to need.
To that extent, it sounds like Coach Pierce's message to the guys is kind of be grateful for your opportunity, where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of times, especially when I talk to other people, but I don't know if I talk to you guys much about this, but I use the example of basketball being like life. And a lot of times in life, things don't go your way. I know it's been that way for me. But at the same time, there's a lot of things I'm blessed with. And sometimes we have to take all this stuff that happens to us to a base level of look at where we are still. You know, things can be different, going both ways, but things can always be worse. So continue to be thankful for that. Continue to actually put yourself, put the team before yourself. That also helps too, to kind of keep yourself. Because I think a lot of times, and I know for myself, like if I don't play well, I'm thinking about, dang, I should have did this to help. I should have did this to help, and you're kind of more upset with yourself than you are with the team, which is a good thing. You're looking in the mirror, but you need to try to be more positive and more encouraging, and just continue to understand, man. Like we're playing the NBA, you know, to get here. And I'm not saying that to say you should just be grateful that, you know, you're here and that's it. No, but when things are going hard, a lot of times it does help when you're able to see, you know, the positives and be thankful for the things that you do have. And that's what Lloyd has brought up. It's like, you know, you got to be thankful for you're here to be able to go through this, because you can be somewhere else, you know, overseas, here or there, and not even having this chance to even play in the NBA or go through this time of working together. And so when Lloyd did say that, it kind of brought me back to, you know, how I kind of look at this job, and kind of brought me back to like, you know what, man, you got to be thankful for having this. You have another opportunity each and every night. There's 82 games. You get a new opportunity. Just make yourself ready for it instead of taking yourself out of it by being upset.
Maybe what changed after making that third quarter run? You all flipped the 14-point deficit to a 3-point lead, and then from there, I think it was like a 26-7 run. So maybe what changed in your mind, or what did you see out there?
I think they probably made some adjustments. I think it was to start the fourth, and they just came out and they executed really well for the first couple possessions. Made us call the first time out, made us make the first sub, and they kind of just kept up the intensity for the rest of the game. You know, they're known for finishing games really well, and they showed it tonight.
How big was Justin Holiday in that third quarter? Obviously, he was saying he felt like pretty much every shot he took was going in. Yeah,
it looked like every shot that came off was going in. You know, that was definitely huge for us getting back in the game. So we just tried to find the high hand right there, and he just kept producing.
And then defensively, what makes it difficult to just string together stops when they can turn to just one guy or this guy. I mean, Chris Paul hadn't played like the entire second half, it seemed like, and then he comes in and does what he does. So how difficult is that?
It's extremely difficult, man. We kind of kept them under wraps for a good part of that game. And like you said, they just kind of made their runs, made their spurts when they needed it. And that was big for them down the stretch. You know, they've played together, you know, for about 2 seasons now. And it seems like they kind of just know where each other is on the floor. You saw that, how they finished the game. That's definitely somewhere where we aspire to be, finishing games like that. Because, I mean, for the first, 36 minutes of that game, we felt like we were neck and neck.
Caris, big picture-wise, it was probably about exactly a year ago when you got your diagnosis. I mean, can you kind of encapsulate what this year has been like for you personally, the highs and lows?
Yeah. It's been extremely tough, but I'm extremely grateful to be still playing this game at a high level against, you know, the best players in the world. And I feel like I've worked my way here, and it's where I belong. But it's, you know, a lot of people have helped me kind of get to this point: teammates, coaches, family members, friends. and I can't thank them enough for it. But like I said, it's been definitely a tough year, and I think it's only gonna make myself stronger, going forward.
Any kind of daily reminder about that? I don't know whether it's a message, a tattoo, or something.
I got the scars right on my stomach every single day. That kind of just reminds me of what happened. So it was actually a year ago from today when I was diagnosed. So it's crazy. It's crazy that a year has already went by.
And then in terms of this team, I know Lloyd was talking about trying to be grateful and finding joy and all that type of stuff. What did you kind of take from that message, and how are you trying to turn that message and do something with this team?
I think Jenny said it before the game, to be everyone try to be someone that people love playing with, and I think if we all can encapsulate that, that'll make a great atmosphere. And I think tonight, we had that, we did that. We were the energy was there. I feel like we had great joy playing the game. They made their runs late in the game, and I think we'll definitely learn from that. But I think it was a step in the right direction.